How's it going, everybody? Today on the show, we talk about how to succeed with video, whether you're a small business or a giant corporation. Today we've got Jeremy Vest of Vidpow in the BizMobile, and he gives us just a slew of information and great useful insights and tips into really optimizing and getting in the right mindset for approaching video. We dig into a lot of things that are holding people back and a lot of things that can really help people just completely shine when it comes to not just on YouTube, but all over the internet with video. So let's jump in with Jeremy Vest. Jeremy Vest, welcome to the show.
How's it going?
Good.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. This is a blast. So I like to call Jeremy Mr. Video Marketing, the ultimate expert. And he's right in our own backyard, which is pretty amazing and awesome. Tell everybody a little bit about, first, just tell them about Vidpow, what that is. And then I want to get a little bit of the history there and what brought you to where you are right now.
Sure. Well, Vidpow is a small video marketing agency. We're one of the few video marketing agencies in Dallas and the DFW area. We basically help brands understand how to make successful video. So we don't make a lot of videos themselves. We don't do a lot of video production. We do a lot of the strategy and the advertising, and really it really comes down to strategy. A lot of people can make videos, but how many people can say that their videos are successful or their videos help actually, with sales or add people to the funnel? And that's what we're all about. We're about helping brands make successful video, not physically make the videos, but help them, to create videos that are going to be effective for the brand.
Awesome. And sometimes that comes before they've made something. Sometimes that comes after, and during, and all of that, right?
Yeah, and if it's after, it could be the optimization and distribution process.
Gotcha. And I think that's massive. I want to dive into that some more, but give me a little of your history and what brought you to that point.
I've been doing web design and online marketing since 1998. I'm old. So I've been doing this a long time. I started in web design. I actually started digital, in 1998, wrote a textbook. And the reason I wrote a textbook is I was actually dyslexic and had a lot of learning problems.
Really?
And after that, I actually failed out of college like 7 times. So I
was in college for 7 years. Yeah, see? And I'm not a doctor or lawyer.
That's funny. So after I failed out of college 7 times, I got some experience, and I actually went and taught college for 5 years.
Oh, that's
just to
awesome.
Kind of prove that I could do it, And then in that time, while I was teaching college, I wrote my textbook. And I really, during that period, got a passion for teaching people stuff. And that is what led me to video. In about 2007, I created an online training company, and we were teaching people how to do digital photography and digital marketing, SEO, social media. So I've been doing social media since before it was called social media, before it was just called MySpace.
Yeah.
And that passion really drove me to video, because you can teach more people, through video.
Right. More people are going to respond to it.
Yeah. So we started doing video courses. We actually helped Adobe create Adobe Television back in 2007, and we just started going from there. During that time, I hired one of the first original famous YouTubers called iJustine, and we actually were the first people to ever sponsor her or hire her.
Oh, wow.
And that's really what got me to understand YouTube, and I've been doing social media and YouTube ever since.
That's fantastic. And at what point in that process did you sort of formalize that and say, this is a company and this is its, on the video side of things, this is its own company? Like, this is something to go after in and of itself.
Yeah, we've been in business about 3.5 years. I first before I created Vidpow, I actually worked for a New York agency for about a year and helped them do video marketing for Fortune like 20 brands.
Oh, wow.
Made sure that I had my feet under me before I branched out on my own.
Very cool. And then, but you saw the value in this working from the very beginning. You saw the response, and then this is where everything's heading as well.
Absolutely. I definitely started thinking about, what is the most effective way to do online marketing? First and foremost, I still believe, even in 2017, that the most effective form of marketing is word of mouth. And then secondly, I would say it's still email, So
having that list and owning that audience. And
obviously, I think that's changing, but if a picture's worth 1,000 words, what's a video worth? That's really was my philosophy. Was you can get a lot more emotion and a lot more humanity into a video than you can a GIF.
Sure.
So,
and it's interesting too because it certainly as a video creator on my side, and I'm now. What's interesting me more than anything else is exactly what you're doing, which is the video marketing side of it. What do you do with that great piece of content, or the 80 great pieces of content that you have that you've seen no results from, but you've made them because you're supposed to?
Yeah.
Because we're all hearing that. We've been hearing that for
10 years.
10 years. Yeah, easy. The video's the thing, and okay, are you doing video? Oh, well, I'm not doing video. But it's the next thing.
Yeah.
And I think... And it's getting easier and more accessible every day, but I think it's still something that is just hard enough, and it's a different language enough, and not natural enough for people that I think that's what's kept there from being such a mass adoption and everybody doing it. But I think there's an advantage to that, especially if you do jump in.
I think 7 or 8 years ago, 9 years ago, this was the same point where SEO was. People didn't even know what search engine optimization was. 4 or 5 years ago, that was social media. It's like, hey, everyone's like, yeah, everyone says we have to do it, but it doesn't really work.
Right.
And I think that's where most brands are and businesses are right now, especially small businesses. They're like, yeah, we're supposed to be doing it, but we did a few videos of our secretary talking about a new offer and it didn't work and we don't get it. I think that's exactly where video is. I mean, look, if you just think about it, video is the most powerful way to communicate besides me and you talking to each other. Right? It's the most powerful way online to communicate. Besides, and that could be live video. That could be any type of video.
Sure.
So if you think about it just from a simplistic perspective, video is the most powerful way to communicate besides in person, period. It should be really simple. Being practical, video is the hardest thing in marketing to do.
Right. And why is that?
Because people don't know what to do. They don't know what kind of videos to make. It's kind of like most small businesses and social media posts on Facebook. You have like a picture of a dog or something smiling, and it's like, how does that have anything to do with air conditioning?
Right. But at least they do it where they don't do video because, well, I know how to take a picture.
Exactly.
I know how to write some words down, even if it's not the best way. And so much of this too is just jumping in and doing something, and then figuring it out as you go. And people aren't doing that with video because that's a big leap. I mean, I've been behind the camera for 25 years, and to go in front of the camera, that is not a natural easy.
Not at all.
And I had to get to the point where like I have no business in front of the camera, but I'm going anyway. I'm doing it, and to just it's not an easy thing to do. So I totally get it. So how do you help people take that step?
I think the biggest thing is we demystify what kind of videos that business needs. And from there we break down a formula of kind of success, if you will. So I think those are the biggest problem is what kind of videos do you actually need, and what are the purpose of those videos. Once you establish the purpose of the video, I think it's a lot easier to understand what kind of videos to make.
Sure.
You know, there's tons of videos. Let's just talk about selling stuff. A lot of people make funny videos, like viral videos. A lot of people like to go viral. Well, going viral is not a business plan.
Right.
You can't just go viral. It has to actually happen, you know?
Right.
So I think just demystifying that if you have 100 videos that get 10,000 views on YouTube, that's 1 million views. But everyone wants that viral sensation.
Sure.
Right? But if you put in the hard work every week and each one of your 100 videos get 10,000 views, then that's 1 million views.
Oh yeah, especially if it's views of from the right people who are your target audience. It's massive.
And one of the easiest ways to get started is to answer the questions that are happening. Like, let's say I do AC repair in McKinney, Texas.
Awesome, because this is what I want to get to. Because you work with massive brands like HP, but you also help people like who you're describing. So I want to make sure that we cover that for all kinds.
So one of the things would be, figuring out in Google and YouTube what questions are being asked, and then make videos around that. One of those questions would be basic maintenance, or what maintenance do I need for my AC unit?
Yeah.
Things like that. We actually created 100 videos for a brand around stuff around the house that breaks often, and people typing in the questions, how do I fix my AC unit? Or, when do I call a service tech? If you answer those questions and you put like McKinney, Texas in the tags, people that are in McKinney on YouTube and possibly, or Facebook, possibly YouTube, depending on a few different things, your messages, your videos could be showing up in Google just because of the proximity of the people asking the question and McKinney, Texas, living there physically.
If that's optimized the right way. And again, very few AC companies in McKinney, Texas are doing this.
Exactly.
Google loves video, especially YouTube video. So you have a really good chance of showing up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And another thing is you could make videos, let's say it costs $5.53 to get a click on google.com for McKinney AC repair. Mm-hmm. You know what that video targeted to the same people would cost? Maybe 10 cents.
The same video view? Like to buy that on the ad there?
And also I believe it's next year, Google's coming out with the ability to actually serve videos to people that have typed stuff in Google. So if someone typed in Google AC repair, you, starting next year, should be able to actually serve those people videos.
Oh, and you like to choose, and like that will be your ad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
So when next time they're on YouTube, they'll see that McKinney AC repair ad that you have.
Yeah.
So based on search,
this kind of info. That's why we got this guy around.
So it's pretty interesting. I think talking about local businesses makes a lot more sense because it's just kind of an easier concept because you're physically somewhere, and you can think about the problem that you're solving for your customers. Uh-huh. If you think about that first and you understand what people are searching for, I think you're gonna win on video. If you can become a personality, if you're funny, I literally saw a roofing company this morning in Alabama is giving away a free AR-15 for anyone that gets a new roof. And this is this guy with the shirt off, and he has an AR-15, and he's like, you get a roof, you get a free AR-15. and you know what? He's on every news station today.
Oh, I bet.
He's everywhere. He's
Brilliant.
like on like CNN, everywhere. And that obviously is an example of going viral, but that's also, even if you didn't go viral and you just people in your town talked about that silliness.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The potential is huge.
Absolutely.
For
So,
that.
being relevant to where you are, if you're a local business, is a whole lot easier than you think. And you don't have to give away free guns,
Right. So let's break down that side of things really quickly, because, man, there's 2 or 3 different categories you can really think of with this video marketing, and one is what you just went through, which is a small business creating these, answering the questions that they're getting asked already, the questions that are being searched in Google. But even within that, you can have, the ideal is somebody from that company is talking to the camera and answering those questions. That's your ideal, correct?
Yeah.
Just there's a connection there, and there's an amazing.
Yeah, from a subconscious perspective, eyes are literally the window to the soul.
Yep.
People respond way better with other people. One of the reasons companies do so bad in general on YouTube and Facebook is because there's not a human or a personality. A 14-year-old vlogger with a beauty channel could have 1 billion views, and a company like Maybelline could, be struggling.
Right. Because there's not that human connection there, right?
Human connection. And if you think about local businesses, typically humans run them.
Right.
So it makes it easier, actually.
Yeah, and that's, there's different things to optimize for, because there's that exact example, which falls into that connection, but also falls into, local SEO.
Yeah.
But then there's also, getting outside of small business. You can sell a product online. There's in growing a YouTube channel, that's a different animal completely.
Yeah.
But just as valuable, but you go about it a little bit differently, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the only difference would be a niche vertical. There are literally probably groups of people that watch underwater basket weaving. Like anything
Right.
you want. The biggest thing I would say is if you're trying to grow a presence or an actual community on a platform like YouTube or Instagram, I would be very, 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 very focused. There are over 700 minutes or hours uploaded to YouTube every minute.
Wow.
So, you literally have to be, and I wouldn't make one video about this and one video about that. I'd make 600 videos about similar subjects. A good example is there's a family that lives here in McKinney, Texas, and they have total over 5 or 6 billion views. And they have one channel called Cute Girl Hairstyles, 5 million subscribers.
That's right. I saw them at your event.
Yeah, 5 million subscribers, almost 1 billion, almost 1 billion views, and they just teach people how to do hairstyles. That's all they do.
Amazing.
It's absolutely amazing.
That's so incredible. And now to that point too, I saw Owen Himsmith talking about the importance of, because of how many hours per minute uploaded, you also have to, when you're going for that and you want to build this channel and this community, is bringing people into the YouTube community. How can people do that, and rather than just like upload videos and hope somebody finds them?
Yeah, that's a good point. So and that's called session start time. So basically the way YouTube works is how long people watch your videos is really going to determine how much your videos are going to be seen. If you start new sessions, meaning you bring people to YouTube to start watching your channels, you're going to do better. Gotcha. If people come to your channel and they're watching YouTube and then they just leave after they see your videos, that's bad. Right. Because the whole goal of YouTube is they want people to keep on watching videos.
Right.
So if you're the cause of people stopping to watch, it's kind of a bad thing.
Right. You're going to keep getting hit and keep getting hit.
Yeah.
And that's, even watching, Casey Neistat, huge YouTuber, just sold his company to CNN for $25 million, and just this big branded personality on YouTube. I watch his Twitter feed and watch him engage with his core audience and stuff all day long on Twitter and Instagram. And so even though he has that, he's still keeping that community alive in all these different areas.
Yeah, it's tough.
Man. So it's so crazy, and I totally understand, people's. I mean, I do that. I've done this for 25 years.
Yeah,
and it's hard.
absolutely. Yeah, I just started my own YouTube channel, even though we have 1 billion views for our customers.
Right.
We just started our own YouTube channel like 9 or 10 weeks ago, and I had a lot of comments saying because I have like 100, 200, 300 views on something. We're just getting started. We don't have an audience.
Right.
And I have a lot of people are like, see, this guy, I speak all over the country, and he's like, this famous guy, he can't even do YouTube. It's so hard. and what's funny to me is because I've been in the weeds so many times, people like that really scare me because I guess...
that viewpoint?
The viewpoint scares me because people want immediate. They want the silver bullet.
Right.
This is hard. You got to bust your ass every week for years before anything happens, a lot of the times.
Oh, yeah.
There's another guy here in McKinney, Texas named Pastor Fred. He's saying about Whataburger honey butter chicken biscuits and got like 6 million views
Right.
in like 1 week. So
you might hit the lottery.
You might hit the lottery, But the reality is most of us don't hit the lottery. We just have to work hard. And what scares me is even though we have right now on our channel like 1,500 subs and, no views and we're sad and lonely, I'm going to keep on busting my ass. And eventually, a couple of years from now, probably 100, 200,000 subs. People are going to think we're cool,
Well, it's so funny because... we were talking about this before we got rolling. It's one of those things. It's just a fact, though, that the perception is out there like this. I have it with, if I come across an agency or anything like that, you immediately look to, oh well, what do they have?
Exactly.
It's just part of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely been one of those things for you where, you were one of the top experts in this. There's a reason you speak all over the country.
Yeah.
These huge conferences constantly, and it's the cobbler and kids not having shoes. It's just one of those things. At the same time, like you wouldn't expect, like the example you gave, like somebody's the top tennis player, and look over his coach is like, oh, well, what have you won lately?
Yeah, exactly.
But the coach knows what they're doing, and it's just a different animal. But at the same time, it's still, there's also no way around it. And I think that's what the point you're getting at too, is that I get it. I'm going to turn the tables on myself.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to be humble enough to get our customers millions of views a month and for me to get 500.
Yeah.
And understand that the process is the exact same to success, and not being afraid of failure. I think the biggest reason most people fail, especially on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram video, is the fear of failure. I think that's actually the number one thing. Yeah. Also, don't create content for yourself. Try to find an audience of people that need something, whether that's entertainment or help or what have you. Don't create content for yourself. Create content for a group of people that care about something.
Yeah, and whether that's ultimately your target audience for your business or whatever that is, or if it's just somebody a community you want to tap into. I think that's key. And the other thing I would say is, commit to doing X amount of episodes, X amount of days, or one of those, because I'll tell you from personal experience. I just went through it over the weekend. I'm in the middle of, I just gave myself 50-day challenge. Yeah. Video a day, 50 days. And I'm putting stuff up and I'm looking at things and I'm like, what am I doing? This is dumb. This is ridiculous. But when I've made a conscious choice to make my default reaction just move forward. Yeah. Just move forward. Rather than, let me stop, let me figure this out, let me figure out how to get this better. Because I've done that long enough to know that leads nowhere. And the only way to do this is just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
Eat that elephant one bite at a time, is what I say.
Exactly.
And the thing that sucks about being a YouTuber is 99% of everyone is just going to have a crappy channel that goes nowhere.
Yeah.
That's just the truth.
Right.
What separates the boys from the men, though, are people that stick it out and learn every day. If you're just making content and you're not learning from your audience of what people want to see, then obviously you're going to fail. Right. But if you just hustle and just keep on putting stuff up and getting better every day and not being rigid, but being very flexible, you should be fine.
Oh, yeah. And so shift gears a little bit for me, because I'm curious, you know, at the HP level, at the big brands level that you've worked with, what's going on there that's different in the approach? Or, you know, especially if somebody already has a bunch of content and you're helping them, what's that different mindset, and what are you getting them to do differently?
You know, it's interesting. In a lot of ways, working with a big brand is actually harder than working with you know, really? or a small business. And the reason for that is, one, I mean, there might be 20 departments or different agencies I have to work with in order to affect one change at a big company. Two, gotcha. The brand, the image, you know, you have to get all these approvals to do new things. There's just so much red tape that it's actually difficult. And then a lot of times with a big company, it's difficult because, again, they don't have a face. And I would say the 14-year-old beauty blogger is going to be able to be better than a brand 9 times out of 10.
Wow. Yeah, because and that's why these big brands are hiring these kind of influencers.
Exactly. You know, the family in here in McKinney, Texas, that does cute girl hairstyles, brands hire them all the time. And guess what? Honestly, they do a better job.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and they have a built-in audience.
They have a built-in audience.
Trust them.
Absolutely.
And they're going to respond. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Right?
I would say that I love working with big brands because it's a challenge. Mm-hmm. But I would say the average Joe has just as big of a chance to be successful as a big brand.
Sure.
The only difference I would say is, how do you measure success? If you're talking about spending $100 million a year to get views, then they're going to win. But if you're talking about organic, true audience views, someone hustling every day and understanding what their audience wants is going to do better.
Well, yeah, and again, what winning means, right? Like, if winning is having a profitable business every month, well, that smaller person has less that they have to go and do in order to be profitable and all of that as well. And
don't get me wrong, the big brands of the world are going to win. You know, they're going to do fine.
Right.
And, you know, if you think about if something's in a Walmart or a grocery store and they're, you know, putting out 1 billion impressions or views a year, they're going to do just fine. They don't need to sell online. They're going to be fine. Right. They don't need great videos. They just need that repetitiveness so that it's top of mind for people. Right. So, you know, it's relative to what does success mean. I think the biggest problem that creators have is they want to go full time. You know,
right?
And
at this,
yeah.
And so that's interesting to me too. Like, because I talk to people like who want to write a book or maybe make video or things like this as well. And my advice to them is certainly, well, you better have a secondary gain out of it. It better be worth it just to go through the process. I tell them, you know, I'm 41. I want to be a professional skateboarder, but that's not going to happen. You know? Right. But I think it's interesting. I don't think it's a bad goal to have. It's just like, I want to just make YouTube videos. It's not a bad goal at all, but you do have to have a plan, and you have to have a secondary way to get there. Yeah, and I think it's ideal, certainly, if, you know, going through all the struggle has an immediate win for you. Yeah. I think that's the big thing, because otherwise then it is a lottery ticket. It's like people who want to go make a movie. Well, that's awesome. But, you know, the infinitesimal amount of successful, profitable movies there are out there. Well, this is kind of the same thing. If there's, and I think so even if you don't have a successful, you stay at home just because of your YouTube channel, well, if you've made 100 videos and put them up there, you still have a tangible, authority building platform. And you know, I think it's less than 1% of books sell over 10,000 copies. Oh yeah.
So I mean, we're not just talking about YouTube here. We're talking about anyone that's a creator that wants to create something. It's a rough life. Now there is a very clear way to profit, and that's building a big enough audience of a particular type of person that advertisers will advertise to. And the money really comes for most creators comes from brand deals and not revenue from AdSense.
Right.
So imagine we're talking about Q Girl Hairstyles again. They have 5 million subs and almost 1 billion views. How many companies are going to reach out to them and say, hey, we want you to talk about our hair dryer. We want you to talk about our hair products or our makeup products.
Yeah.
Just imagine how many brands are calling them and how many millions and millions of dollars a year of potentially they could make just because they've created an audience.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the money is. And that's why I always tell creators to make a very niche vertical.
So what's your advice for folks figuring out what that should be for them?
It sounds cheesy, but you have to go with your passion. Because if you hate what you're doing, it's a job.
Sure.
Yeah.
I
definitely have a job, but I absolutely love what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
it doesn't always go that way. It doesn't always work that you're going to be profitable if you follow your passion either.
Yeah.
But I think they have to go.
If your passion is rainbow dolphins, you're probably not going to be banking.
Right. But you never, in the world of YouTube though,
you never know.
That's
you
true.
never know. Yeah. What's funny is we have some friends that do YouTube for kids, and they just make really rainbow vomit stuff and get billions of views. So you really never know. But if you were doing kids content, that's different. You could focus on that, and
Right. So talk to me about some upcoming things. I know you have a conference coming up that you're doing.
Yeah, we're excited to have videomarketing.world conference. It's October 25th in Dallas. Actually, it's in Richardson, and it's going to be really exciting. This year, it's only $97. I want to give everyone a taste. Next year, it's going to be like $500 or $600. It's going to be one day. We're flying in literally like the best guys in the world. You mentioned Owen earlier. He's going to be speaking. Daryl Eves, Matt Gillian's, literally like the best guys on the planet are going to be speaking at this conference.
That's fantastic.
Dennis Yu is speaking.
Oh, that's awesome. Dennis is great. And that's such a testament to you and your place in this community and these relationships that you've built to bring these folks in.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good time. You guys should definitely check that out at videomarketing.world.
Perfect. And I'll link that up in the show notes as well.
Cool.
And so I just want to end on a little bit on. I mean, I know we talk so much about YouTube. Where else is video just thriving right now?
Yeah, I mean, Facebook. It's all about Facebook. Now, what's funny is everyone's like, Facebook's the YouTube killer. No, not really. Right. But there's a big place for video on Facebook. One difference is the average view time for a video on Facebook is 6 seconds.
Right.
On YouTube, I'm guessing it's 10, 20 times longer than that, you know?
Yeah. And that really does seem to be, I mean, everything from how they count a view to that average, that watch time, even though you can upload longer stuff.
Relative to how long the video is, a view on YouTube could be up to like 30 seconds. So, they count it completely different.
Yeah, Dennis actually commented on, I posted one of my vlog things the other day, and he was asking me why am I linking out to YouTube and not just posting native to Facebook. And it was a short enough one. I said, you're absolutely right. I could do both for sure. I think there's value in that. For me, I'm in that mode right now of just
YouTube
optimization. Yeah, exactly. And that's why most of my stuff's longer. And that does seem to be one of the major things. Like nobody, quote unquote, nobody is watching these longer form.
Personally, my favorite platform is Instagram.
Really?
Right now. Yeah.
I love it. It definitely seems to be the world's engagement platform.
Yeah. But if you think about the platforms in this way, YouTube is a lot more like where you go to actually watch real content. Facebook is where you happen upon random cat videos and crazy stuff.
That's a great point. Yeah.
And then Instagram is where, especially people under the age of 30, 35, is where they're really, truly engaging visual content with their friends and family.
Yeah, and it's so, I don't know what it is, but yeah, the experience is perfect and great, and yeah, the engagement isn't the most engaged, like number one in user engagement right now, right?
Time on site, things like that. Facebook and YouTube are the biggest.
So the biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. And so, even there's still a video play to be made on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Absolutely. Right? Live video is huge. One thing, live video, answering questions, things like that. Live video is absolutely huge. And the biggest reason, we did a lot of work with Car and Driver magazine this year.
Oh, cool.
So fun. I'm a big car guy, so I had so much fun doing it. But we actually pumped over 10 million views through Facebook Live for them. But guess what? They had over 20 million people go to a web page. So and the reason for that is Facebook Live has so many other things that happen. One of those things is people get notified every time a brand goes, that they've liked the page, they get notified that page went live. So what was happening is we were putting the link to the description of like the new, whatever car. We're putting a link in the description and we're pinning the first comment as that link. So people are like, oh wow, they're live with the new Ford Focus. And instead of watching the video, they just go to carandriver.com to our article and they want to see all about it.
Gotcha. That's interesting.
So let's say we're talking about the new Tesla Model 3. We have a video about it. We're live talking about the new Tesla Model 3, and people are just literally clicking to go learn more. They want to see the deeper version of it. So there's a lot of hidden facts about video. Video sells. There's tons. Just adding a video to a landing page can get you up to 30-40% more conversion.
Yeah, especially on a bigger ticket item.
And most people don't even watch the video.
But there's a validation.
It's a subconscious validation. It's a social validation of, oh, there's a video. I must, click 40% more on this form.
Right. So I know, YouTube seems to weight different things at different times and watch times, and you talked about, right? That's a big thing right now. At different times they've been, thumbs up with, live, that aspect of it, and kind of weighting that heavier. Are they doing that right now with anything like VR or anything that you can tell?
Yeah, you're talking about Facebook?
YouTube.
Or YouTube? YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube's definitely, obviously, it's a mobile first platform. They're all about making sure you're optimized for a mobile device. They're all about the live. A lot of people assume Facebook's winning the live battle, but they're actually neck and neck, about 43-44% of the target market. So they're both winning. They're like number 1 and 2 winning the live game right now. I think live video is huge. Moving forward, 360 video and VR and all that stuff, they're going to be the winners of that. They've already got all the tech pretty much built and everything. It's about adoption at this point. I would say for YouTube, 10-minute content.
Okay.
That would be the thing I see that's the most relevant. And the reason for that is, if you think about the business model of YouTube, what's the most important thing? For people to watch more content.
Right.
That's number 1.
Right.
So they're going to, and watch time is really confusing. A lot of people are like, okay, if I get 90% of my video watched and my video is 2 minutes long, then I'm going to beat my competitor. Well, if your competitor's video is 20 minutes long and they only get 20% of their video, who's going to win out? The competitor with 20%, because the overall watch time was longer.
Right. It's the total minutes. And it's interesting that they, if they start on your video, but they go to even somebody else's video, you're getting credit essentially for that.
Yeah. O and I are going to be doing a collab this week, because believe it or not, like Daryl and Tim, and Tim's has a video coming out on my channel this week. And the reason for that is because you don't have competitors. If you have a similar channel, then YouTube knows to send more of those people that they send to Tim's channel to my channel if we're collabing with each other.
Yeah.
So it's actually, if you think you have a competitive channel, partner with those competitors and your channel is going to take off.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Doesn't that make sense though?
Oh yeah, totally. Because yeah, it's one of those, and I love that. I mean, I love that it's not this net sum. You know, it just builds on itself. Just so fantastic. Well, what's the best way for folks to follow? And
they get Vidpow BAM anywhere or vidpow.com.
Fantastic. Jeremy, thanks so much for being on.
Thanks, man.
This has been a blast.
Likewise. Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Just phenomenal information. Jeremy's such an awesome guy, and really knows his stuff. I'm excited for the conference coming up in October. Make sure you find out all his information. Follow him all over the web. Like he mentioned, Vidpow BAM on all the social, and the vidpow.com. It's great content out there, and if you're a brand looking to really optimize things, make sure you check him out and work with him soon. So if you like this video, please subscribe. We've got a lot more great interviews like this one coming your way. We'll see you in the next one.
It's Saturday night. It was Saturday night and I'm feeling kinda silly. Winter coat on cause the air was chilly, but I'ma make my way out to the record spot. Gotta find some new breaks for the beats to rock. I gotta come with the flavor like some lifesavers. On now and laters, Dr. Beat Maker. If I'm a player, it's like a tape deck. And if you miss the gig, then take a rain check. Stacks of wax piled high to the ceiling, need a U-Haul truck if I would think about